Alright, something I felt pretty strongly today. Um, as this road keeps going, I'm like, um, God's serious, alright? God's still serious. Um, no matter how much I joke around and think that God will change his mind and not be serious, he's still serious. So since God is still serious, um, I believe he inspired me for this as well, and he wants you to be my right hand man, JR. It's a big responsibility until I reach full strength. I know you've been supporting me strongly, consistently. You've been supporting me, and God knows it, and that means something. It means something to me, and it means something to God as well, the both of us. You stand alone as the most consistent supporter. No joke, like consistent, not sporadic, not sporadic. You're consistent in every way. Every way. You're consistent. No joke. So I'm like, he's my right hand man. JR is my tactician. No joke. Help Jesus in the creation of me before I was born or something. Somehow you know how Jesus created me. Somehow. Almost like the three of us. That's what I thought about. It's almost like the three of us, before you and I were born, the three of us, me, you, Jesus, we sat down and we talked about how we were going to create me. No joke. I'm like, how did he know what Jesus was doing over decades of time? I didn't even know what Jesus was doing for decades of time. You know what I mean? I didn't think Jesus was doing anything. No joke. And this is what I thought about before I made this video. And I think I'm right about this. Part of Jesus's craftsmanship was not just the rebuilding of me, like I thought. I thought the beginning of his craftsmanship was when I noticed him helping me, like rebuilding me from nothing. That's when I thought his craftsmanship began. But now I see part of his craftsmanship was before that. When I didn't think Jesus existed, nothing. No joke. That was part of his craftsmanship also. Before I thought he began his work on me. Everything that led up to my destruction, that was part of his craftsmanship. I'm pretty certain about this. Nobody knows how crazy that statement is, like I do. The entire thing, for decades, was intentional, even when I didn't think any of it was, by Jesus himself. Only him and I know how crazy that craftsmanship was. Only him and I know. But you have an idea as well, JR. You have an idea. You do. Somehow you knew his crazy craftsmanship, which is true. So crazy that I thought it was inhumane. That's how crazy a craftsman Jesus is. I thought it was inhumane. I did. I thought it was excessive. I thought it was too much. But he knew how much I could take and handle precisely until there was nothing left of me. I thought I outsuffered him, and then he jumped in. That's when he jumped in. And it really hit me today. Nobody knows how shocking it is, even still. I was just saying it before I made this video. I'm not joking. And I'm still in shock. Even to this point, I'm in shock. Of my entire life to this point, I'm like, I didn't outsuffer Jesus. It's hit me harder now. It is. I'm like, I didn't outsuffer him. I didn't outsuffer Jesus. Oh shit. I really didn't outsuffer him. And only him and I know how crazy that, how shocking that is to my soul to say. Even at this point, I'm still in shock about it. That's how much shit I've been through. Even on this road of him building me into something. The rebuilding part of his craftsmanship. I'm still shocked during the whole rebuilding of me. And it shows that he outsuffered. I didn't outsuffer him. I didn't outsuffer Jesus. That's how insane his craftsmanship was. He allowed me to go through so much shit in life. He allowed me to go through so much shit in life till I hit a point where I thought I outsuffered Jesus himself. He allowed that on purpose. He did. I know he did. I know he did. He knew exactly. He knew when to jump in, or when he knew when to make it obvious that he jumped in. He knew when that point was going to happen. When I thought it was over, I outsuffered him, it's over. He knew when that point was going to happen. He was right there, right on the money. Right at that point. He was right on the money. He knew it more than anybody around me knew it. He knew when I was going to hit that point, if that makes sense. Crazy craftsman. Crazy. So I know how serious he is, more now than ever, and I need support like you, JR. My right hand man. It probably came from Jesus himself. He's like, make JR your right hand man. I swear, like, that's what I thought about today. I'm like, if me and you grew up in the same neighborhood, we'd be hanging out all the time. We would. Me and you be hanging out, having a great time. That's what I thought about. I would never be hanging out with my family. Fuck that shit. Be hanging out at your place, you know. Anyways, that's what I thought about. Anyways, I feel like what you say resonates with me, my friend. What you say resonates. I'm like, I probably knew him before I was born with Jesus. I probably knew you. Like he's gonna help Jesus create me into the ultimate soldier warrior. The ultimate. That's what I thought about today. I'm more than just a warrior at this point. That's how much I feel like Jesus has improved me. I feel like I'm more than just a warrior, just a dumb soldier. I'm more than just that. Somehow Jesus has made me into more than that, and I can feel that as well. I'm more confident around anybody. Anybody I'm confident around. Doesn't matter. I'm getting used to being around people all the time. That's part of the molding as well. Me being used to people at all times. All times being used to being around people. No one can catch me by surprise, basically. You know. Getting very used to being around people. No matter what kind of people they are, I'm getting very used to being around people. By design. So anyways, that's the main reason I wanted to make this video. It's kind of a more serious video. Because I feel like God wants to move this along to the next step. God wants to move this along to the next step. So that's what I'm doing. I'm taking to the next step. So, and the next step is you being my right-hand man, JR. So, you're the most consistent. Just like God's consistent, you're consistent. That means something. Consistency means something to me. Consistency means trust. It does. For sure. I was around a lot of inconsistency in my life. So consistency means a lot. It means trust. And you've been very consistent. Very consistent. It's almost like you're on the same page as God. You know what I mean? Like, you know what he's doing. Even more than I do still, you know? Like, no joke. So, yeah. I don't know if you played... I don't know if I said this yet, but... I don't know if you played Gears of War. The Xbox game, Gears of War. But it's kind of like this. Pretend I'm Marcus Phoenix. You're Dom. The right-hand man to Marcus Phoenix. The right-hand support of Marcus Phoenix. That's who you are there. To me. So, what's funny about Marcus Phoenix is when I felt destroyed and stuff, God got me when I was locked up like Marcus Phoenix. You know, that's what's funny about that video game. That's when God, when I think God came to get me, I was locked up like Marcus Phoenix. So it's funny in a way. It's like God got me out of lockup to get me involved in the war again. No joke. He got me from being locked up, wanting to get out of the war. That's it. I was trying to get out of the war, off the planet, out of the war. It's like, nope, we're getting you out of prison. We're getting you back in the war. I'm like, shit. Just like Marcus Phoenix would say, shit. Back into the war. God damn it. God damn it. But at least today was little. I try to make today pretty peaceful. I'm like, I need some R&R days, you know. So I thought it went all right. It's hard for me to enjoy things knowing that, just think about this. You're on this road for God, and then you realize he was watching you the whole time, and you saw everything that everyone did to you. He saw all that. So on this purpose, you learn about, you know, God's going to get vengeance. Everyone you were around. This is what's been heavy on me. Everyone I was around growing up, friends, family, you name it, that thought they got away with stuff against me. God may remove them from the earth. He may. That's what's been heavy on me. That's why I'm like, I don't want to do this. That means everyone I knew growing up that thought they got away with shit, they're gonna pay with God's vengeance, you know. No joke. I'm trying to move through it. You know what I mean? Trying to move through it. Right now, God wants me to focus on the beauty. That's what I learned. Being thankful and the beauty of things. And so I'm trying to do that. Trying to be thankful. Be grateful, because there is something to that, being thankful and grateful. More than I thought. There's more to it than I thought, being thankful and grateful. So I'm trying. Because God knows I wasn't thankful or grateful most of my life. This life sucked. This life sucked for me, for the most part. I just want out of here, but. That's another reason. That's another thing I thought about today. I'm like, I thought me being born was a mistake. But they say God makes no mistakes. But it appeared through everything I went through that my life was a mistake. It was a mistake for me to be born. Entirely. It was entirely a mistake. But to God, it wasn't a mistake. It wasn't a mistake. It's still not a mistake. That's what's crazy. All this time, it appeared that my life was a waste. This was all pointless. This was all a mistake. To be born on this earth for me, it was a total mistake. But for God, not so. That's how crazy this is, the craftsmanship. I thought my whole life was a mistake. I'm like, this has to be a mistake. This is insane. This is insane. You know, this is like a big joke on me. This whole life is a big joke on me. This is insane. This can't be right. God made a mistake. I thought that most of my life. I'm like, this is a mistake. God went bad. Yeah, for me, he went bad. Everyone else, God was fine for. For me, God went bad. But that was intentional. Yes, it was. Me having such a hard go at life and thinking God went bad, for me, was intentional. As part of his craftsmanship. No joke. Only God knows the effort and drive that did for me to think God was against me. You know, God went bad. Only God knows what that formed with me. No joke. To get me to what God wanted me to be eventually. He allowed me to think God went bad, God was a traitor, God was against me, on purpose to intentionally get me to where he wanted me to be eventually. Crazy. And that's what I realized today. His pottery hands, clay in his hands, didn't begin when I thought it did. The destruction of me was part of his craftsmanship as well. The destruction of me was part of his craftsmanship as well. No joke. So insane that I wish I was making it up. I wish I was making it up. And everyone's like, you're in imagination land. I wish I was more than anybody realizes. I will say that again. I wish I was in imagination land more than anybody realizes. That's how fucked we are. That's how fucked we are, eventually. Yep. 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 It'll get to a point now that I'm taking it more serious than before. Instead of just joking around, I'm like, God will just kill me. If I'm just joking around, God will just kill me. He didn't kill me. So I'm like, shit, it's serious now. Since this point, I'm quite a ways away from the point where I thought I could get God to kill me and get me off this road. I'm quite a ways away past that now. Now it's serious. I'm like getting a small unit of Spartans, not doing this myself, trying to do it God's way. So there's like eight Spartans of us. We're totally outnumbered. I knew this the whole way. I'm like, this is so pointless. We're outnumbered. But apparently, Jesus knows what he's doing. He's already won the war. He knows what he's doing. Like I said, he's the trump card. He's already beaten the enemy, even though we're outnumbered on the ground. Literally, we're outnumbered. And even at this point, I feel like they're stronger than me. Still, their effort against me is still stronger. That's why I need support until I get stronger. Because then, I don't know. God wants to do this the smart way. He does. He wants to do this the smart way. He made me think he was unwinnable, unbeatable. This whole thing against them, it was unwinnable. It seemed like it. Most of my life, it seemed like an unwinnable anything against them. All of them. The non-human out there, family, you name it. That was unwinnable. It was just me against all of them. One person against all of them. That was part of my training as well. It was to make me think it was just me against all of them, with no God. Think about that. Me against all of them, no God as support. That I thought. He was watching the whole time. He was within me the whole time. But I didn't know that. Through it all, I didn't know that. Not really. Anyways, enough about that. History lesson. It's time to get down to business. Yep. God is serious. God's pretty serious. So, seems like the party is about to be over for everybody. Soon. Very soon. And I'm going to be the party wrecker. I'll be the party wrecker. Oh well. Nobody likes me anyways. Nobody likes me anyways. That's what I thought. I'm like, I have nothing here to live for anyways. No one likes me anyways. Doing God's purpose, no sweat. Nobody likes me anyway. Except for a few you guys and Kakarot. That's the only people that really like me. Everyone that said they loved me and liked me in the past to my face, they're long gone. They're in the rearview mirror. God knows it. God's still stuck with me, despite that. People that convince them, try to be as convincing as possible that they love me. They're in the rearview mirror. They're long gone. The only ones that are going to be standing are the most loyal soldiers left, imagine. And you, JR, you're one of the most loyal I've ever seen. You're the most loyal I've ever seen. As far as Spartans, soldiers, warrior, tactician. I see you as a tactician for some reason. Because you know how Jesus makes his weaponry. You're like his tactician, you know what I mean? No joke. You're like my tactician. Right-hand man. So. No. That just hit me hard today. It did. I'm like, it's time. I'm not sure what God has planned, but I need a right-hand soldier that I can trust. That's you, JR. You're a right-hand man. As things get more serious and more heavy, I need a right-hand man to be with me through all this. You know what I mean? So I'm not doing this feeling like I'm flying solo totally. People in the real world don't know I have an 8-man unit of loyal Spartans. They don't know that. God knows that though. I have like an 8-man and woman unit of loyal Spartans. Maybe not loyal to me, but loyal to God to be loyal to me. You know what I mean? Exactly. So that's what we got so far. It's about 8 of us. There's about 8 of us, and about 1 billion, you know what I'm talking about 1 million of those, you know what I'm talking about. Narcissists, the pretenders, performers out there, about 1 million of them out there, and the 8 of us, you know what I mean, together as a phalanx. I like our chances. I like our chances just fine. God knows, I thought I was going to do it all myself. One man army, beat them all. Actually, I was hoping they would take me out. Just target me till it's over. But God's like, no, no. It ain't over till the fat lady sings, and the fat lady hasn't sung. Like I said, nobody knows what God is doing as far as moving pieces around, and he's doing a lot of different things. I don't know exactly what he's doing. But he knows that's pretty heavy for me, that this could eventually lead to the death of everybody I once knew. Literally, this could lead to that. This road I'm on could lead to the removal of everybody I once knew throughout my whole life. That thought they got away with it, that won't change no matter what. Won't change. Don't think anything's wrong with them. Won't turn to God to change them. Pretend to believe in God. That was confusing most of my life. That was what was really confusing. I was around people that most of my life that were portraying themselves as real God followers, real God believers, and God knows that messed with me. That messed with me. They portrayed themselves as real God followers the whole time. To the point where I'm like, I have to be the bad guy. I have to be the bad guy. It's pretty funny in the play. I went to the Wizard of Oz play, and she's like, "Are you a bad man?" to the wizard. She's like, "Are you a bad man?" I'm like, "I'm a bad man. I'm a bad man." But some people think I'm good. I don't know. I'm like, people are gonna call me bad like you would not believe. People are gonna call me bad like you're not believe. Like throwing shit at me. Throwing shit at me. You know what I mean? Like, boo. Boo. We don't want Jesus to come. Boo. We don't want Jesus to come. I'm like, I do. Keep throwing stuff at me. I want Jesus to come, like, right now. Keep throwing stuff at me. Taking this shit my whole life. Part of the Jesus training. Part of his crazy craftsmanship. He wanted me to be treated like Jesus. Exactly. That just hit me. He wanted me to be treated just like him. Just like him. The Jesus treatment, I call it. The scapegoating. The Jesus treatment. He wanted me to have the full Jesus treatment. He did. That was part of his craftsmanship. He wanted me to have the full Jesus treatment. That was part of his design. 100%. That was part of his design. Like I said, no man, even me, would not be a craftsman of somebody like Jesus has with me. That's how insane his craftsmanship has been. That's how intelligent Jesus is. No man would think of this kind of these methods to make me into this right now. And eventually, even as this keeps going, I will change even more so. That's when things will really get interesting. Me at full strength, me at full confidence. God knows I have never reached that point yet. Full strength, full confidence. Nope. You know what I mean? I'm getting there. But God knows I haven't fully realized that. Full strength, full confidence, fearless 24/7. I haven't reached that point in my life. Not yet. But I'm getting there. The most fearless battle axe God is making. He is. Eventually. Anything the world throws at me won't work. That's how well Jesus is making me. Anything they dish out won't work. Even to this point, this is another thing I thought about. What Jesus has done with me has been so secretive, like you were saying, JR, so secretive throughout my whole life. No one's going to see this coming. No one. No one's going to see this coming. No one is. They are totally clueless about what Jesus has been doing with me throughout my entire life. So totally clueless. Even I was clueless what Jesus was doing through a lot of it. I was clueless. But now, it's more noticeable these days that he's doing stuff. But before that, I didn't know. I didn't know. The crazy craftsman. That's an understatement. That's an understatement. That's an understatement. The worst treated individual since Jesus. Jesus is making into his ultimate weapon eventually. His ultimate weapon, his ultimate soldier. You know what I mean? To the point where I'm like prepping the earth for the burning, basically. The general's barking commands before Jesus burns the earth, while the sheep survive and the goats do not. I'm not sure how all that's going to go. Only God knows how this is going to go. I'm not as smart as God. I'm not. Only He knows how it's all going to go. I'm just a man in His plan. That's all I am. I'm just a man in God's plan. Even when I thought I wasn't in His plan, I am in His plan still. I'm still in His plan. He's pretty adamant about me being in His plan. No matter what I say, no matter what excuse I say, He's still adamant. He's like, JR will help you out. JR will help you out. The best soldier, tactician I know. He'll help you out. And he's right. JR has helped me out. Yeah. You were right, God. He's the most reliable guy I know right now. The most reliable guy is JR. I'm like, what? Where'd he come from? Wild card, Like I said before, wild card. Came out of nowhere. But you're serious as well. You're serious like God is serious. You know what I mean? Like you and God both were like, this is how we're going to create you. Talking about me. This is how we're going to do it. You were part of designing me or something. On my earth plan, You're like, I know how Jesus creates all his weaponry. I know how he does it. But that's insane. Like when I reflect on my entire life, when I try to reflect on my whole life, the craftsmanship of Jesus is so insane it's not even funny. It was inhumane. It was inhumane. That's how insane his craftsmanship was. It was inhumane. I thought it was excessive for any man to go through, to be allowed to go through. And I was always told God doesn't allow anything to happen to a man that he knows he be able to tolerate. God knew I would be able to survive insane suffering. He knew I would be able to survive it. Until he stepped in. He knew I'd be able to survive it until he stepped in. Like I said, he knew right at the moment I thought I outsuffered Jesus. He knew shortly after that, he jumped in. He knew the exact moment that point was going to happen. The exact moment. No joke. That's how scary this is. God was watching me that closely. That closely of his craftsmanship, even though I didn't think so. I didn't think so at all. He was watching me that closely that he knew exactly when to jump in. Precisely when to jump in. When everybody else was clueless. God was not clueless. Scary shit. Scary stuff. Yeah. I felt like because it seems like God's not going to back down. God's not backing down in any of this. He's not backing down. That's why I'm like, all right, JR, help me out on this road. Just keep helping me out. You've been helping me a lot so far. Just keep, as this goes, my right hand man. So I was just impressed to say that for this video, Things are getting serious. If I'm asking some of you guys to help me on this road, things are getting serious. Instead of me just bitching and like about whatever as normal, like, my attempts to disprove Jesus not working. My attempts to get God to kill me not working. We're past that. God's serious still. God's still serious. So I'm like, all right, JR. I'm like barking orders. JR, you're the most reliable guy on YouTube for me. Most reliable soldier right now. No doubt. No doubt about it. You're most reliable right now. You are. For sure. That could change in the future time. Who knows? But right now you're solid as hell. You're solid as hell. And God's like, he's your right hand man. I put him in your path on purpose. I lined you guys up on purpose, and I feel that's true. We're like climbing together right now. You and me. We're like climbing together during this stretch. I'm like, I don't want to go any farther. You're like, we're going farther. We're going farther. I'm like, all right, let's keep going. All right. That's what's going on. You're like ahead of me. Like, we're going farther. We're going to do this purpose. God's not done. God's not done with you. We're going to keep on climbing. That's what you are. You're my climb guide next to me. We're climbing together at this portion of time. Like I said, during different points of my road, I'm aligned with different subscribers. I've noticed that. Like Soldier of the Lord, I was aligned with for a while. Blue Sky, I'm aligned with here and there throughout it, for sure. Mary Magdalene, throughout it. I've noticed that. He aligns me with the most reliable of the phalanx. That's who he aligns me with. For that time, for that season, that's who he aligns me with. And right now, it's definitely me and you, JR. It's definitely me and you right now. Like side to side, like back to back. You know what I mean? Like brothers to the end. You know what I mean? Like, that's how it feels right now. I'm like, I'm too tired. You're like, no, you're not too tired. We got to keep going. That's what's going on. I'm like, I'm too tired. Nope, you're not too tired. We got to do God's purpose still. It's not done yet. It's not even close to being done. I'm like, all right. All right. That's what I feel like. I feel like my messing around time is done. Me messing around and like, God will just take me out. He'll just retract everything. He'll get me off the planet, if I joke around enough. Nope. I'm like, God's still serious. God's still serious as hell. He is. About yours truly here. He's serious about yours truly. A guy like me, God's serious about. Everyone's like, that doesn't make sense. There's so many better representatives for God on the planet. So many. I can name all the names. Billy Graham, name all the names that are better representatives for God. You? I don't know. But JR knows. I'm like God's secret weapon coming out of nowhere. Slowly coming out of nowhere. I'm like God's secret weapon. Everyone's like, oh, he's done. He's done. His life's over. Nope. Still going. God's still pushing me forward. Oh, he's done. He's tapped out. He's probably dead. He's probably... You know, nope. Still going. Still going. God is serious. God is more serious than I ever thought or imagined when it comes to me. He's more serious. It doesn't matter what excuse I say, he's still serious. It doesn't matter. I can't get out of this. He's serious about me. Everyone's like, there's no way. There's no way. I don't know. I don't know. Most of my life I would have said the same thing. There's no way. God doesn't even know who I am. There's no way. I would have said that for a lot of my life. God doesn't know who I am. He doesn't even know I exist. There's no God. It seems like he was paying attention to me as if I was a critical part of his weaponry. A critical part of his weaponry arsenal in the making. He was watching me. That's what sucks. I didn't even know what I was going to become. I didn't even know what I was going to become in the end. I didn't know. I didn't know. This is all crazy to me. I'm like, well, at least doing God's purpose might be okay in the end if I don't get burned and I have a wife and kid and stuff, It might be okay for me in the end. I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, this is the craziest road I've ever been on. I should be dead by now. A long time ago, I should have been dead. By the laws of science, by the laws of all science, I should be dead. By the laws of all science, I'm not dead. I'm not dead. Not only am I not dead, I'm a free man. This is crazy. I'm like, all right, this is serious. This is serious stuff. If I'm still alive and a free man, God is serious as hell. He's serious as hell. No more messing around. Gotta be a man about this. I gotta be a man about all this. Not a coward. Like the cowardly lion from Wizard of Oz I just saw. I can't be a coward. I gotta be fearless. Fearless at all times. But yeah, this is the next step, I feel like. Making JR, you, my right hand man. I'm not sure what all that entails. I'm not sure what all that entails at the moment. But at this time, at this juncture, you're my right hand man. The two of us that probably would have hung out back in the day in the schoolyard during recess. The two of us back in the day, we probably would have done that, Two friends in the schoolyard. Now we're all grown up. Now we're part of God's plan, warfare. You know what I mean? Turning the tables on the whole planet. Who would have thought? We were just kids on recess. We go home, we get abused by our parents. At least I did. I don't know about you, but I did. Part of the training. Part of the training, though. Go to recess, have a good time, go home, get abused by the parents. That was my life. That was my life. Part of the training. Part of the crazy craftsmanship. Crazy craftsmanship. Unfathomable craftsmanship. Unfathomable. By a human mind, the unfathomableness of this craftsmanship. I want to be so fearless. I am. I'm already getting there. So fearless about everything. That even if someone, but even if someone did try to assassinate me like I wanted most of my life, they'd be so fearful of how legit I am. They'd be so fearful. If they took me out, they knew God was going to take them out. That's serious talk there. God wouldn't let even anybody take me out. He let them abuse me, yes. He let them abuse me, yes, but he didn't let them kill me. That's key. He didn't let them finish me off on purpose. Part of the craftsmanship. Do your worst to him. Do your worst. But don't kill his body. That was the training. That was the training. Destroy him entirely, but not his body. Don't take out his body. That was my training. It was. That was the rule. You know, all abuse is good. All abuse is good. Just don't kill his body. That was the training. That was the training, I swear. Maybe I won't say it's all waste by the end of all this. By the end of all this, I won't say this has been all waste. Maybe not. Yeah, enough about that. They no longer matter. As Magneto says in the X-Men movie, they no longer matter. The narcissists, they no longer matter. Yep. What matters is what God wants. That's what matters now. Ugh. And even though they came close to killing me, Obviously, you can tell they came close. They're going to wish they finished me. They're going to wish, like, you would not believe that they finished me off. They will wish. They will wish. So. But anyways, that's where we are at this juncture. JR, you're my right-hand man. Not sure what that means at this moment, but I felt strongly about this today. Make JR my right-hand man. He's proven enough to me, to God. You support me on God's command, it seems like. It seems like on God's command, you support me. No joke. That's why you're right. My right-hand man, you're like, you listen to God closely. It seems like. That's what I noticed. So, you listen to God more than I do, probably. I'm listening better than I used to, but God knows I'm not the most obedient individual. You know, I grew up around craziness, so I'm not obedient. So it's taken a while for God to make me obedient and tame me to some extent, to utilize me. Like I said, God's the only one it has the only chance to make something out of me after the chaos I grew up around. You know what I mean? But he can, because he created me. He knows how to tame me. You know what I mean? But anyways, not tame me, but like make me more obedient to his commands. But anyways, enough about that. I need to get some rest. So I'll wake up tomorrow. But that's all I want to say for this video. I'll talk to you later.